one of our panelists in the room here. And Ms. Pooja, we will, go with you next on, from the Tamil Nadu perspective. I think we all know that there is a lot of electronics industry already there in Tamil Nadu. How do you think some of the things that you have developed that they will help in semiconductor manufacturing taking forward?
Thank you, JC. Jayesh Ranjan sir, Reddy sir, Nanda Kishore, Mr. Kumar, my fellow panelists. Very good evening and good evening to all the delegates here. I am Pooja Kulkarni. I head guidance and we do investment promotion and facilitation for Tamil Nadu. The state has always been a manufacturing powerhouse. We are worth, 1 year ago we were worth $265 billion. In a year we have grown to $285 billion, almost touching 290. And this is in a COVID year. In 2021, when almost all economies of the world shrunk, the national economy also shrunk, Tamil Nadu actually grew by 5.8%. Probably the only economy in the country and across the world to have grown nominally by this percent, even during COVID. And this was possible only because we went out of the way to ensure that our manufacturing goes on. Your retailer, your grocer, your down the street was shut, but our manufacturing was on. We ensured that workers reached the factories, we ensured that those buses plied, and we ensured that we were able to create those bubbles in those sectors, in our manufacturing hubs, to ensure that activity goes on. And that proof lies in the fact that we grew by 5.8% when everyone else shrunk. And that, I think, is our biggest strength. Ecosystems, we all have. The acid test is, does your ecosystem work in a crisis? Ours does. We are also a unique confluence of being not only a manufacturing powerhouse, we are also an IT and financial services powerhouse. So all the IT majors are present in Chennai. They are also present in other locations like Coimbatore. So in terms of talent, again, second to none, we have IIT Madras. The present director of IIT Madras, Professor Kamakoti, in fact, is a leading voice in the semiconductor sector itself. We have Anna University. It's the oldest engineering college in the country. We have the private universities. Everyone knows VIT, everyone knows SRM, everyone knows SSM. So in terms of skilled employees, and we're talking about skills at the PhD level, at the MTech, MS level, again, you cannot get better than this. And all these institutes are not spread across the state. They are all in and around Chennai. So the cluster, the hub, the land that we have identified is in this manufacturing hub. JC already spoke about electronics. We are an electronics powerhouse. We are an automobiles powerhouse. And automobiles today are more electronics than mechanical. I mean, in a few years' time, an automobile will really be a computer on wheels, right? So in all these sectors, we are already a manufacturing powerhouse. Every second car that is exported from the country is manufactured in Chennai. 1/5 of our electronics exports are manufactured in Chennai. And I'm talking about electronics straddling all domains, IT hardware, peripherals, mobiles and telecom, consumer electronics, and all of these. So we provide not just a manufacturing ecosystem, what we provide is a ready and immediate market for the semicon product producers themselves. We expect that consumption within Tamil Nadu would by itself be a large market for the semiconductor industry. And that is something unique, I believe, we have to offer. In terms of availability of infrastructure, the land is already readily set. It is within this hub, the electronics manufacturing hub that we have set out land. So availability of labor at all levels, availability of employees with the highest qualifications is readily available. Power is not an issue. We are a power surplus state. We also hold the unique distinction of being the 9th largest across the world. Again, we are comparing a state to countries. We are 9th largest in terms of renewable energy. 50% of our installed capacity is actually renewable, and which is what manufacturers are asking for more and more. We find exporters, in fact, all the electronics exporters are now asking for renewable energy because that is, the movement is towards sustainable manufacturing, and that is something that we are confident we can provide. We also have the potential of offshore wind, which we believe will be available in about 4 to 5 years' time. And the potential on that alone is 30 gigawatts. Mr. Amitesh Sinha is here, who was earlier piloting the offshore wind. I mean, he knows better than most of us in this room what's the kind of potential that we have for offshore wind on the southern coast of Tamil Nadu. So in terms of availability of power, not just power, I'm talking green power, we are surplus, no issues. Water, again, if I can say that if there is any place where we can definitely assure water, come rain, come shine, come drought, it's Chennai, because at the end of the day, desal, it will always come to our rescue. We are setting up 2 desal plants of capacity of 550 MLD in the city. And this is apart from what we already have. So in terms of availability of water, fresh water and desal water, there is absolutely no reason to worry. So availability of infrastructure, availability of skilled labor, availability of an ecosystem, an R&D ecosystem, all of that is what you get in Chennai. Most importantly, what you get is a manufacturing ecosystem that works even in a crisis. And that, I believe, is our greatest strength. Support from the government in terms of incentives. We have already shared our policies with many investors, and we've also shared it with MIT. As per our policy, the incentives that we offer go up to 40% for this scale of investment. It will easily touch 40%, and that would be offered as a reimbursement over about in 2.5 times the period of investment. This is as per policy, but for marquee investors, we always have a structured package of incentives, and we would be very happy to discuss that across the table. So I would once again extend a warm welcome to all of you to come to Chennai, have a look, and then you can see that the proof of the pudding lies there. Thank you so much.